No, you don't do that.
He's going to make a big mistake.
We're kicking things off with one of the wildest moments you'll ever see. In this fight, Alexandru Bobicioiu was up against Cedi and Dustinel in what felt like a 2-on-1 battle. While Cedi was holding Alexandru, Dustinel decided to jump in and deliver a cheap shot, a kick right to Alexandru's backside. And as he went in for another kick, the referee had enough. The ref stepped in, grabbed Dustinel and slammed him to the ground like a rag doll. The crowd went nuts. But the ref wasn't done. When Dustinel, clearly embarrassed, tried to get back up, the ref slapped him across the face, adding a final touch of humiliation. It was clear. The ref wasn't just there to enforce rules, he was ready to lay down the law. Dustinel definitely learned that the hard way. Next, let's talk about one of the most unforgettable moments in combat sports. Matthias Frederick was facing Ahmad Aswad, and after landing a brutal right hook, Aswad was knocked down hard. But Frederick didn't stop there. Even with Aswad defenseless on the ground, Frederick kept hammering him with punches.
He is out. Oh.
That's when referee Leon Roberts stepped in. And this wasn't just a normal stoppage. He doesn't just pull Frederick off, he takes him down and chokes him out right in front of everyone. Leon Robert became a legend that day. His quick thinking and strength turned him into one of the most famous referees out there.
Leon Roberts with the slickest back take I have ever seen from an official.
Now let's head to Russia for one of the weirdest fights ever. A fighter lands a knockout punch and it looks like the fight's over. But here's where it gets crazy. The guy who got knocked out somehow gets back on his feet and, instead of leaving the ring, he goes after the referee. Yeah, after being knocked out, this guy decided to fight the ref. Luckily, officials stepped in before things got even more out of hand. Losing a fight is bad, but losing twice in the same fight? That's brutal. In a wild post-fight moment, a boxer wasn't happy with the referee's decision to stop the fight. Instead of walking away, he shoved the referee, thinking he could intimidate him. But the ref didn't let it slide. He grabbed the boxer and choke-slammed him to the canvas. Everyone watching was stunned. It was a reminder that referees aren't just there to enforce the rules, they can throw down when needed. Back to UAE Warriors, where Ahmed Al-Darmaki had another crazy moment. After winning a fight with a chokehold, Al-Darmaki held on for too long, and the ref, Mark Goddard, had to pull him off. Instead of backing off, Al-Darmaki went after the ref again.
No, you don't do that.
He's going to make a big mistake messing with...
But UAE Warriors handled it professionally, disqualifying Al-Darmaki right away. In another crazy fight, a boxer ignored the referee's call to stop the fight and kept brawling. Things escalated until another referee stepped in, body slamming the troublemaker to the ground. That move sent a clear message. If you disrespect the referee, expect consequences, and sometimes those consequences come in the form of a body slam. In the Dominican Republic, things took a wild turn during a super welterweight clash. After Angel Cruz landed a powerful right hand, his opponent, Julio Rodriguez, was down for the count. But when the referee stopped the fight, Rodriguez was furious. Out of nowhere, Rodriguez walked up and punched the ref square in the head. The ref tried to stay calm at first, but eventually lost it and went after Rodriguez. It was chaos, and the fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. One of the most bizarre and iconic locations for a brawl? The Sydney Opera House. Salisbury and Tamelkov were supposed to engage in a regular match, but what unfolded was pure chaos. After a few heated exchanges, things spiraled out of control. Salisbury landed a controversial hit that set Tamelkov's coach off. The coach yanked Salisbury, and that's when things got really ugly. Cornermen from both sides jumped in, turning the whole thing into a full-blown brawl. But it didn't stop there. One of the cornermen even started attacking the boxer, which made the referee absolutely furious. The ref wasn't having it and went after the intruder. Within seconds, the ring turned into chaos, with even officials from both sides getting involved in the fight.
Paul is now throwing punches. There are other people in the ring. There must be 20 people in the ring, punches flying everywhere.
And we're not done with Dustinel just yet. Later, in another bout against Cedi, Dustinel found himself caught in a tight submission and had no choice but to tap out. Instead of taking the loss like a professional, he lost his cool and tried to go after Cedi again. The referee didn't waste any time this time either. He quickly stepped in and slammed Dustinel to the ground, making sure everyone knew the fight was over. Apparently, the ref had to remind Dustinel twice that he wasn't in charge. Let's talk about a moment that shocked everyone watching: Berrigan's fight against Fortes. After Berrigan got knocked out, instead of accepting his defeat, he made things worse. As soon as he regained his senses, he challenged the referee, ignoring all rules of sportsmanship. The referee, calm but firm, stood his ground as Berrigan tried to confront him. It was an intense moment, but ultimately Berrigan had no choice but to back down after the ref showed him who was in charge. Razi Jabari was already heated after losing fight after fight. When he lost yet another match, the ref told him to shake hands as a sign of sportsmanship. But Razi wasn't in the mood. He attacked the ref instead. That started a full-on brawl. Jabari's actions showed he wasn't cut out for MMA. Instead of leaving a good impression, his outburst pretty much ended his career. In Ultimate Combat 7, Julio Gonzalez dislocated his shoulder during a fight with Wayne Cook, but that didn't stop Wayne. When the ref tried to stop the fight, Wayne ignored him and kept throwing punches. The ref wasn't having it. He put Wayne in a chokehold and wrestled him to the ground. Things got so chaotic that one of Julio's teammates rushed into the cage and nearly turned it into an all-out brawl. The fight ended as a no contest, and Wayne never fought in MMA again. In a wild moment, a furious fighter broke all the rules, attacking his opponent even after repeated warnings. Ignoring the ref's commands, he kept going until the ref had no choice but to slam him to the ground and pin him down. The situation escalated so much that the police had to escort the fighter out of the ring. It was a clear message: disobey the rules and even the ref will take you down. Takeo Shina had just knocked out Lee after a week of intense trash talk between the two. But even after the knockout, Shina wasn't satisfied. He kept raining down punches on an already unconscious Lee. When the ref stepped in to stop the madness, Shina shockingly attacked him too. It was an ugly scene, and Shina's actions pretty much ended his career on the spot. What makes it even sadder is that this was Lee's very first match in MMA. After going through that traumatic experience, he never stepped into the MMA ring again. Now let's talk about Ramazi Korkilia versus Vyacheslav Datsik, a fight that started off intense and escalated into pure mayhem. Datsik is known for his unpredictable and wild style, and this bout was no different. After some brutal exchanges, Datsik completely ignored the referee's orders to stop, and the situation got out of control fast. Korkilia was left defenseless, but that didn't stop Datsik from continuing the assault. The ref had no choice but to intervene and physically drag Datsik off Korkilia. It was one of those moments where the ref had to become more than just an official. He had to be a protector.